Welcome back to the channel. My name is Adam Smith, and inside this game unboxing video, I've got something a little bit different for you solo gamers out there. This is Arkham Horror, the role-playing game, and as it states on the front of the box, it's called Hungering Abyss. Now, just for some context, I have never unboxed a role-playing game on the channel before. This is the first one, and for good reason, because I'm a huge fan of the Arkham Horror universe. Now, over the years, I've seen many RPGs be released, and I've always wanted to try one in a solo capacity just to see if I have any interest in it. And if there ever was going to be one that I was going to give a shot, it would be this one right here. And I'm really excited to actually take one of those solo systems out there in the wild and apply it to this and see whether I can enjoy this experience. Now, if you're somebody that already enjoys RPGs with your friends, then you are definitely going to want to check this out if you're a huge fan of the Arkham Horror universe, as this is going to really just envelop you in the entire experience because, well, if you've played a ton of the other board games, you're going to have a lot of context going into this role-playing game, making the experience a lot more immersive. So as I'm not the expert on the tabletop RPG side of the equation, I leaned on other solo gamers in my Discord community where there's an actual channel specifically for tabletop RPGs among a number of different things. So if you want to actually join the Discord, you can actually have conversations with many different solo gamers there. And I actually asked a few of them there what they use as their system, and they told me that Mythic Game Master Emulator, the 2nd edition, is the one to use. So I plan on using that solo system for this RPG to see whether it fits well and will work in order for me to enjoy this experience. But for now, let's continue the unboxing and I'll show you everything that's inside this box. But first, let's find out more about the narrative behind this RPG. It states, a chorus of howls, ravenous hunger, and an endless abyss. Death has come to the cobbled streets of Arkham, Massachusetts. Each day, more missing posters are added to the growing pile, and another cluster of graves are left defiled and robbed. The police seem baffled or perhaps complacent, and the fate of the city rests in the hands of those who would risk themselves to uncover the truth of the hungering abyss. It's great to see this role-playing experience is beginner-friendly, and you're going to learn as you play. It says, in this beginner-friendly, learn as you play starter set, players take on the roles of talented and bold investigators caught up in the mystery behind the lurking dread that has fallen over the city of Arkham in the height of the 1920s. The investigators must do what they can to stop whatever force is feasting on the fear of the city, and they must do it before the true horror can be summoned from a world beyond their own. Up to 5 players and 1 game master can risk it all to save Arkham and the world. Whether you are a role player or brand new to collaborative storytelling tabletop games, this starter set's an excellent way to explore the expansive world of Arkham Horror. This box is filled with game-enhancing components to create an immersive experience. It's worth showing this on the back of the box, the dynamic pool system, which feels intuitive but allows for tactical depth and encourages strategic team-oriented decision-making. Heading inside the box, the first thing you run into is the Hungering Abyss booklet itself. We're going to take a look in depth on the inside of this thing in just a moment, but you'll also see Investigator references here. And again, if you're familiar with the universe, you'll also be familiar with the different investigators. And there's a number of them inside the box here. We have Joe Diamond. Each one has a pamphlet. We'll go ahead and actually open these and I'll show you the insides in just a moment. But I want to go through the top sections of the box first. We also have some maps here as well, fold-out maps. And these, I believe, are double-sided. So there's different things on each side. I'll show you those in full later on. Again, into more investigators from inside the box. These are different characters that you can be in this role-playing experience. All the way to Daisy Walker. Lots of different maps, double-sided, different places to visit, whether it's inside, outside locations. You get down to the tokens here, punchable tokens again to try to draw you into the experience, to be able to map things out on those maps that you just saw earlier. Flipping this over to the other side, I should say, we've got a dual-sided token and board here that really wants to come out of its punch board. And then here we have tokens representing not only the investigators, but the enemies and different elements of gameplay you'll get into through the role-playing experience. And as we get closer to the bottom here, we have the actual front-facing screen for the GM. And this thing I'll fold out later on and show you that. And then you get to the bottom of the box where the cards, and we have some dice inside of these, as well as a couple more things to look at down below. But first, let's actually go back. We'll take an up-close look at all the things I just pulled out of the box one at a time. We'll begin with the Hungering Abyss booklet. I've opened it up to the first couple pages. There was some artwork before this, and also worth mentioning an important point. The actual spine of the booklet itself has some threading to ensure that things stay together over usage and time, so it's going to kind of secure the binding of the booklet even better. We've got a Welcome to Arkham Horror section, an introduction. We got some things that are worth mentioning, mature themes, sanity and horror, all that good stuff, how it ties to H.P. Lovecraft and the history around that. We got themes down here and gets into investigation assets. Honestly, if you're familiar with LCG in terms of probably how it presents itself, this is going to be familiar to you in terms of the layout and the format of things. But it's going to go through all the things we're going to take a close look at as we go through. We got the adventure book, got some item cards, 7 special pieces of evidence, 16 enemy and ally profile cards, 5 investigator portfolios. Then it gets into the double-sided maps, which we will definitely take a look at in a sec. And we've also got the Game Master board here on the opposite side of the picture you saw, although I haven't opened it up for you just yet. There is a full breakdown of all the roles and everything else regarding the GM side of the equation, and we've got more tokens and stuff in here. So again, I'm very excited for this. I really hope that I can find a solo system that pairs with this quite nicely. If the one I mentioned, the Mythic one, doesn't work out for me, I'm going to use something else. I'm going to find a way to make this work in a solo capacity because I really want to experience this story for myself. And if that doesn't work out, I'm going to be finding some friends that want to go on this journey with me, because this is, out of anything I'd want to journey around in RPG form, this is the universe I want to do it in. This is the GM's page here for information. We have a breakdown of the different acts, 1, 2, 3, and then the end. So the Howl of the Hounds, Cultists Among Us, Hunger from Below, and then the end of the investigation. And then it actually jumps right into act number 1, where it's going to break things down for you in terms of the following materials that you'll be using throughout. So you grab these different things to set up your scene to begin. We got scene number 1, which is let's get our story straight. And it dives into the dice pool, the actions, the skills, and starts breaking things down as to how things flow in the game. So feel free to pause the screen and take a look. The font might be just a tad small to see from this distance, but you should be able to read most of it. I'm just basically showing you the format and the flow of this to get individuals that might be interested in this excited, because I know for me personally, as I mentioned multiple times already, anytime I see something in the Arkham Horror universe, I get ramped up about it because it's a universe I just love being inside of. Mansions of Madness, Eldritch Horror. There's just so many games that have come over the years that really are immersive, and I love everything to do with it. And I don't want to show too much more because I want to avoid spoilers, because this is the GM booklet itself. So I'll just show you that spine here on the side. You can see the threading along it just to ensure that it basically stays put through usage over time. Next, we'll take a look at Joe Diamond's portfolio. So we have his picture on the very front here if you're choosing to use Joe Diamond. And if you open up this, you get information on the inside about this character. So you're going to have the name, the skills, how the skills break down across different abilities. You have areas here for dice rolls. You have your knacks, your spells, your equipment, your investigator quick reference, your leveling options, insight. Everything you need is listed out on this sheet. And then moving over to the opposite side, the story so far. So again, you're going to know a little bit about Joe Diamond. And of course, if you played other Arkham Horror games or maybe have some of the narrative books like I do, then you're going to know a lot of the backstory of these characters. And then, of course, has some really cool stuff here. In this case, excerpts from the Arkham Police Department as that's tied to Joe Diamond's backstory. I won't focus on this one too long, but there's a note here with information on it. So we'll just go ahead and flip it over to the opposite side so you can see it. And we'll continue on, and we're going to dive into one of the double-sided maps. Here's an example of one of the maps opened up. On one side, we have the ritual site, has a spiraling staircase along here. We have the pit over here. On the opposite side, we have the Arkham Woods, and we have a hole over here to explore, as well as a clearing. The next double-sided map is the St. Mary's Hospital. We got the main level, the lobby, nurses station, laundry room, lab, basement level, storage, the stairwell B, the morgue itself. Don't want to be in there too long. Roost desk, exam rooms over there to the basement. The stairwell's leading as well to the second floor. The elevators, all kinds of things to check out. Next up, we got a graveyard, a place you definitely want to be in the Arkham Horror universe, not so much. The upper service road, groundskeeper shed, and basically the lower parking lot down here, amongst a number of tombstones, of course, being a cemetery. The next map is Joe Diamond's house, kitchen, cellar stairs, a back door, dining room, stairs to the upper floor, storage room, guest bathroom, entryway, the ground floor area mentioned, sitting room, Joe's bedroom, master bathroom, and over here, this is the cellar. On the opposite side, Peter Warren's house. We have a guest bathroom, stairs to the upper floor, a side door, garden, Peter's bedroom, Peter's study, master bathroom over here. Everyone loves seeing the artwork on the GM screen. Here is what it looks like on the one side. We'll go ahead and flip things over and take a look at what information is here for the GM on the opposite side. Let's continue checking out the portfolios for the other investigators. We have William York's breakdown right here. If we flip over to the next one, we have Rita Young. After that, we have Carolyn Fern. And finally, Daisy Walker. We have an autopsy report here. We can flip this over to the opposite side. There's some more information on the other side as well, specific to the story. Now we're taking a close look at the tokens inside the game. We have, of course, Sanity and Health, these being the Sanity ones. These ones right here are Ritual tokens along the bottom. The green ones are Quantity tokens. The Quality tokens are the red ones in the center here, and the yellow ones are Ammunition tokens. This punchboard has a number of enemies and investigators all combined. There are 2 slide puzzles in the game. They are double-sided puzzle frames. They have 11 barrier puzzle tokens in this one and 11 box puzzle tokens in that one. The final items at the very bottom of the box, let's take a look at. I'm not going to show you the inside of either of these letters as I want to keep them secret for the RPG experience. But here we have some dice, here we have some dice, as well as these cool little holders to keep them in. And then we have some cards we'll take a look at, as well as some larger size cards as well. Inside the brown box, we have a nice gray and black marbled look to these D6s and a number of them. And inside the green box, we have a number of marbled looking green D6s. Now let's take an up close look at the cards. That's going to wrap up this game unboxing video for Arkham Horror, the role-playing game. Hope this gives you a great idea as to what you can expect to find inside the box. If you're coming at this from the perspective of a solo gamer looking to solo this tabletop RPG, as I mentioned before, I'm going to be trying the Mythic system to see whether it fits with this one. If that doesn't work, I'll be trying something else. If you have any suggestions about ones that you like to use for solo, let me know in the comments down below. And of course, even if you're looking to play this one as intended officially, which is with other people, because that's what a role-playing experience typically involves, as you have multiple individuals being immersed in the story and also adding to what happens in the experience, let me know your stories down below as well. Would love to hear from you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, keep on rolling solo.